I know. It's a while. I have real explaining to do, but all you come to watch this video to hear any kind of long explanation, or you want to know what it is going on. I have an explanation for all that. However, I am at just Shenanigans headquarters, Peter headquarters, right? And I remember I was just looking over all the videos, and then I realized, I was like, wait now, Roger had a little list that he was dealing with in terms of the updates of the car. How far are you reaching this list? I've seen asterisks.
Yeah, so this wasn't updated, so I didn't do my homework, but more or less everything done. Because the car started,
Yeah.
it's just we had to check some stuff. Yeah.
So I say to myself, let me just check to see what's going on, because I see on social media that the car doing 500, and I say I had to see what it is happening there. So we with the man, Roger.
What's going on?
You know the crew. I come here before. You know they're dealing with drift cars, they're doing engine builds, they're doing wiring, suspension, upgraded brakes.
Yeah, anything to do with drift.
Anything to do with drift.
Yeah.
It's like I was telling them before, I was like, I don't see why, expanded regionally. So if it is you have the resources and you know the crew. They have plenty of videos, they have the social media up, I'll try to put all the social media handles. Some talented group of fellas.
We may even play fast enough and do a time attack.
We might do a time attack. I don't mind that,
It's in the back there already.
Oh, yeah. Alright, so no, okay, so call the car 1.5J because she proper. Everybody getting big, everybody growing up. So let me see what's going on. I saw no she a bit bare, but he's a man. He does make sure that he could work on the car very easy. And but you know the car before.
This time it was function over form. I think that's right. I wanted to function in properly before we look into form. Yeah, so the upgrade was to go to a complete 2J VVTI. To use the VTEC for all them Honda fellas out there. Yeah, I have a VTEC too. And when we got the engine initially, it was not where we wanted it to be. So I decided to invest in a set of pistons and a fresh set of rods for it. So I have CP pistons on rods. Boost Factory actually did this for me because Waziri does most of my engines, or if not all. We did the assembly, put it together. So yeah, so it bottom end good. I'm sure 800 will be comfortable. TIG did all the fabrication work in terms of TIG kit for those who don't know and who not follow him just yet. He's I would call him a master fabricator. So he did all the aluminum work, the intake, he cut the intercooler. So this was a stock intercooler with two ends on his side, and you see it's reoriented now, right? He also reoriented the radiator as well, built all the piping and everything like that, did the exhaust as well too. Jam did, which is Ghost Fab. He did the gussets, the cage, he cut the front off and made all the paneling to hold the V-mount. Now again, this is my idea of what I believe would have been efficient as a drift car. It could be totally wrong, but we're experimenting here and we're not afraid to experiment, right? So from that perspective, we went with a V-mount setup, make the intercooler piping as short as possible, and allow for as much airflow. We do have to do some ducting to make sure that it's efficient, but I believe that that we have what we want here. I mean, on the dyno it cooled pretty well, but again, out in the open we'll see it. But it was consistent with the temperatures. The upgrade that we also made was a electric water pump. This one didn't work out so well, so we converted back to a manual pump. But other than that, we're good to go. It's on a Maxi C right now, tuned by Kester, and on VP Racing Fuel.
Very well professional, like, you know how you would see them fellas and them doing it abroad. Like you say, you know, he's still experimenting on the V-mount setup. Yeah. See here, you crash bars just in case. On the V-mount setup. But how you find the power band is as compared to when it is you had the 1.5J as compared to how you had the 3 liter with the VVTI. Like, where's the power delivery different?
The last graph was making it at about 45 and climbing, right? This one actually made at, well, I guess a platform. So you saw it coming from about 38 to 41, ramp up, and then basically made the power and keep it straight out, straight out until about 70 something, whatever the red line is.
Okay.
So it was more consistent. Of course, the torque came in a little bit earlier because of the VVTI. So that was a nice addition to it, and you realize where although we changed the runners, and the runners are a little bit shorter overall,
right,
but it allowed for the volumes to come in, and where that minus itself, we got the response from the VVTI.
And he do the
intake from scratch.
Damn.
Yeah, the intake, the teardrops again. As not really a through the bonnet kind of guy.
Well, that's kind of surprised.
Yeah, but I think the wastegate, that's enough. That's enough.
That would be a little flame.
Yeah. So one of the other things that we try to, again, is just part of me just thinking through, is that bleeding the system for me when I had it before with the radiator up front was always trying to get the water to the highest point, right? So it was either at the neck, but somewhere else would have been higher.
Yeah.
So what we did is cut the neck off, extended it up, so therefore at a falling point, this is supposed to be the highest point in the car. Okay. So therefore you get all the air bubbles out, because one thing with J's or RBs or anything, especially with a cast block, I don't think they could take heat, but they don't like it, because if you have a bubble inside, it's take a very long time to come out. So those are one of the other things that we looked at. Other than that, AN lines supplied by Garage Fresh. So we did dash 10. Tig also made the catch can that is baffled inside, and all the lines and everything else was supplied by Garage Fresh. Other than that, we just refreshed the clutch, and again jammed it all the fantastic work with the roll cage, the gussets, everything like that on the exterior of the car. Yeah, that's something.
When you say jam, it's ghost stealing, innit? Oh boy, ghost, you know, ghost do things. Jamal. Oh go away, everybody, you know. Yeah. But he's a known individual. Ghost didn't do nothing. You didn't do no change to the turbo. This is the same turbo from the other engine.
It's the same turbo, and right now, from a capacity perspective, we think we passed what it could deliver, so it have to be upgraded. So for me right now, the car is seeing about 25 pounds of boost, somewhere around there, because the turbo isn't huge. So it'll give me.
But for that reach max volume.
Yeah, I mean you could push it to 30, but you wouldn't get anything more, because again it's compressor speed and wheel speed as well too, right? So pushing it between 5 pounds to 10 pounds more, I don't think you'll get. And again, you're heating up the system, so you have to be consistent with that as well too. You don't want too much heat into the system.
All right.
And yeah, that's about it. We changed again on the Maxi CU, tuned by Kester. This is on a street version. We converted from the coil packs to NZE coil packs. Again, as it go right now, so I guess the bamboo won't go hand on by tomorrow. And that is it. We went with a a 90mm throttle body, and that's about it. Just some custom. Well, of course, we're changing the camber settings on the front of the car, but the angle kit is from before. That's what I won the championship with before.
This is his first version. The kit.
No, this is version 2.
This is version 2.
Yeah.
Right. The man Jamal, he doing. He had different versions.
Yeah.
He like the
There's
Iron Man.
Version 3 coming,
Yeah, and I had our version 3 coming.
Just try to support local. I mean, it's more, I guess it's tested and proven when you go with something like Fab because they're doing it for so long, right?
Right.
But when you see somebody talented like him understanding the science of angles and dynamics,
Correct.
I think I will spend the time to support local. Yeah?
Have a nice tone to it. I know he has some modifications to do to go back to the electric water pump. We was talking earlier about it. That even just removing that water pump, the water pump it will create a level of resistance onto the crank and all the pulleys in the engine, creating a level of resistance. And he was just telling me the difference. Like when there was only dyno in the electric water pump, I kind of give way. And it was like a difference to 60 horsepower. So imagine when them guys do electric power steering and all this kind of stuff, the additional power you can get out of the engine just from removing those small little incremental components that they could make electric and utilize more of the rotational speed and not have so much resistance on the engine that kind of going onto the crank and converting the power onto the gearbox. Yeah. This is a real technical video if you ain't know that as yet, but we're getting into the nitty-gritty. Okay, so I'm gonna call out the numbers. I will leave you to call the numbers on your dyno run. This is the engine build. I know you're carried by the dyno. That is why I rushed down to see what it is happening.
Yeah.
Where's the numbers?
Well, the numbers for me were decent. So I'm accustomed. So let me put it this way: this car never crossed 400 horsepower. In all the time that's happened. When it had a SI, it was 280. It touched 300 at one point in time. When it was 1J, it was 350. Even at 1.5 on pump fuel, it was 380 at most.
Okay.
Right? It made 380 on the VP at 14 pounds of boost. So it made the same power that was on before.
Right.
At much less boost. The boost was 22 pounds when it made that 380 the last time.
Okay.
Right? With that being said, we were able to carry it up to 500 horsepower safely, and this is 500 horsepower with me being a clown and sign up on the limiter and putting it, flat shift. I mean, the max is for me it's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, based on the price, it's cool for me, right? So you get all these efficiencies, flat shift. You could, even if you wanted to go e-throttle, all those kind of things, it have a wide range of monitoring for it, right?
Yeah.
So the more you pack on in terms of sensors and if it measuring wheel speed, I actually understand that there might be a DCT. Well, there is a DCT function for it as well to control that DCT transmission really well, and again actually working like a gearbox as well. So they have all that functionality that the Max is able to do.
Okay.
With this just small but affordable ECU. So yeah, good stuff.
So yeah, the usual suspects here. They're working on vehicles. Get them a check. I'll try to make sure and put all their contact information down so that If you call them, if it is you're interested in getting out your vehicle, or if it is you have one and you want to convert it into that spec, they go organize you. They go let you know what it is you need, and they go make dreams come true. Alright, so I'm going back in the vehicle that probably has 110 horsepower. I'm driving you undercover, and on the next video, hopefully soon.